Cooking has always been a part of my family heritage. You know, I grew up in the restaurant Delmonico's, Oscar's Delmonico's, so cooking has been something that's like in our DNA. My father, even though he wasn't a great chef in the sense of great chefs, he could cook. And and my mom as well. And I think that either you know how to cook or you don't. So it's kind of like cilantro. You either love it or you hate it. But yeah, so cooking has been ingrained into me since a child. And I've been cooking ever since I was 3 years old, I think, if not before. Favorite dish to cook, it all depends. I love breakfast dishes. So I'm really into doing really good pancakes with champagne extract and the whole thing with fresh fruit. But if I have to do a really great dinner, I love to cook pasta with lobster.
Oh,
so my mom and I are working now on really good recipes with risotto and lobster. So I've been a radio host now for 6 years on Max and Friends on LA Talk Radio. Prior to Max and Friends, I had a show called To the Max, which was a lifestyle show. It was all geared towards the finer things in life, and then we had a huge crash. So after that crash, my producers and the owner of the network was like, how can we get you to stay here and reformat your show? So I was like, if Oprah can have friends, so can Max. So which was great with Max and Friends, because what I did was I allowed myself to have a platform that if I can't be in the studio for one night because I'm off taping a cooking show or hosting for Eye on South Florida, the red carpet events, then what I can do is just have friends fill in for me. So it's turned out to be a lot of fun, and I've interviewed everyone from ex-mistresses to murderers, to housewives, to comedians, Lisa Lampanelli, which is, I think, one of my favorite interviews, and Heidi Fleiss, who was that really famous mistress. Whenever you do a sex show, you always get great ratings, so I like to have mistress. You know, my fashion background started because my mother was in fashion. She really was one of the biggest names, I think, in fashion during the 60s and 70s, especially with Women's Wear Daily. And she opened stores like Roberto Di Camerino and Jaeger on Madison Avenue and Maximilian Furs. That's how I got my name. So she was really this pioneer in fashion, especially for women back in the days. To be executive vice presidents wasn't an easy task to convince the men that women can have these positions. So my first venture in branding was called Oscar's Delmonico Vodka, is called Oscar's Delmonico Vodka. We produce a really exquisite vodka in the Netherlands. It's one of, I think, the smoothest, most clearest, cleanest vodkas on the market. And it's distilled 5 times, and it's made of grain and grape, and it's really a wonderful vodka. And we do, instead of really having it in stores, we do a lot of private sales and a lot of events. So we've had it at some big events in Los Angeles. We've also were the sponsors for the Soho Film Festival. So the branding of the Oscar's Delmonico Vodka then opened the door to be able to brand a lot of other things. So we have a home in Italy, and I'm producing an olive oil there. And then on top of all of that, my mom and I have a cooking show now coming out called Max and Mom in the Kitchen. So big projects that I'm working on is March 1st, 2014, with Donald Trump. He's my co-chair for an event that I'm calling Noche Caliente Tropical, which is, you know, the big night of hot and sexy and tropical themed. And it's for the Unicorn Children's Foundation, which is a foundation in Boca Raton, Florida, that has just built a school for kids with autism and ADD and neurodiversities. So on top of the school, we also have buses that go into the community that diagnose children for learning disabilities and for neurodiversities. So I do a lot of charity work here in South Florida with Unicorn Children's Foundation.